Hello everybody and welcome to the Esoteric Order of Gamers. This is Peter and today I'm going to show you some more, I'm just reaching for it now, Apex Legends, the board game. I've got some more cool stuff from Glass Cannon Unplugged. I enjoyed their game so much I wrote to them and I said, can you send me some more things because I like your game and I want to get some more cool stuff, and they were really nice and sent it to me, so let's check it out. Well, look at all this. Wow, some lovely stuff from the Kickstarter campaign for Apex Legends, the board game. I'm going to show it to you in this video. Now, I've already done an unboxing of the core set and a review, so go and check out those videos if you're interested in learning more about Apex Legends. It's a very cool tactical shooter game, and these things are not essential for your gameplay experience. You can have a great game with the core set, but this gives you extra characters and some other goodies, another board, some great stuff to expand your game and make it even more interesting. Now, of course, they sent me this stuff for free. Thank you, Glass Cannon Unplugged, but that doesn't influence my opinion, and of course, I don't charge for these videos. So let's get started and have a look at all this. Okay, the first thing we're going to check out is this, which is a Neoprene playing mat. Now, of course, in the core set, you get a set of tiles, which you can use. And in fact, I've got a board expansion here, which gives you another board. Now, with this neoprene mat, you get both of those surfaces on one mat. And here it is. That's the surface you get from the core set. This is board number 1 expansion on there, and you've got that in a lovely neoprene mat. Now, I do like neoprene mats to play on because they have this lovely soft surface that you can bounce your dice off. Of course, there are no dice in this game, so it's not as much of a big deal. But that still doesn't mean it's not very nice to move your miniatures around on a surface like this rather than cardboard. I use these mats when I'm playing tabletop miniatures games, and I really like playing on them. They're a lovely, soft, slightly bouncy surface. And the good thing is, of course, is that you get the 2 different surfaces on one mat, on either side of that mat. So, nice thing to have. Talking about boards, let's look at board number 1 expansion. Here it is. And in this, we're going to get that extra board surface that I just showed you, but in tile form, if you don't get the neoprene mat. Here it is here. You can see these are the 4 tiles. They're single-sided. And very nice too, and actually these are really nice mats you could use for other things as well. I mean, I could play Necromunda games on this if you wanted a small 2x2 area or any other game that uses tiles. These have a nice industrial feel to them, so very cool. We've got a set of rules to help you use them. Here's our board. We've got map connected tiles. What's that? We've got some more buildings in here, which is great. Various components. Now, according to these rules, you can make larger setups if you combine these with the core box tiles. So that's probably what those connected tiles are for. We've got set up here. There's a new game mode here called Control Point. The objective is to score a specified amount of points. You can gain those by taking down opponents, but you can also take over a set of control points specifically designed for this game mode and located around the map. So that's a different way of playing. It's for 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3 squads. So that's that. Oh, look, we've got a whole lot of setups here. So that describes that. And then here are some of the setups you can do with this board. This is with the new terrain as well. So here is the large map setups. So it's almost a little town, isn't it? Look at that. So you can play some larger games on that. And it tells you all the different game modes that you can play on the different types of maps. These are the detailed maps for setting up those. Look at that. So lots of choices there in the new map set. They've also given us a little sheet to show us how to repack the box, which is essential. Here we've got some more terrain. So we've got respawn beacons, and these are new walls, so little modular walls. We've got more supply bins. These look like beacons of some sort. What are these? Oh, these are our control points, which are used in that game mode. So yeah, some different bits of terrain there. Here's another sheet with more of those large walls. And then we've got our buildings. So as always, we have an outer skin like this, and then we have the boxes that fill it, which are these. Some very nice artwork on there, more of an industrial feel. Look at that. That's nice. That sort of shakes up the feel a bit. Oh, some nice graphics on the side there. Look at that, hanger bay. So a whole bunch of those. Now, I must show you what I've done with my terrain from the core set. So rather than pack it up and put it back into the box each time, I've just got one of these plastic storage bins, and I've got all my terrain in there. So I can easily just grab the buildings I want from that bin. So I guess I'll need another one of those to put these extra ones in, or a larger one. But that just makes it easier. I don't have to pack it up each time. I can just get it out of the box. It takes up a bit more space, of course, but then I just have a little ensuite bathroom there, which I only use the sink of, and the shower is full of bins of terrain, which I've showed in another video. So a whole bunch of buildings there, and there's another skin as well, so quite a bit of extra terrain to shake up your play areas. There's your map connector pieces, so this is just a little bit of the texture from the core set going into the texture from the new map. That's a nice idea. And then you have basically the rest of the box is a nice storage solution. And the good thing about making up all these other little pieces like the walls and the control points and things like that is once they're made up, you can put them in this box and you don't have to build them each time you play the game, which is kind of handy. Again, it takes up a lot of space because, you know, you've got big boxes full of terrain and everything, but that's our modern problem, isn't it? With games, they just take up so much space. It's hard. I've been trying to sell a few games, actually. It's very difficult to sell games in New Zealand because there's quite a small pool of people who can possibly buy them, which can be frustrating sometimes. I mean, if you're living in America or the UK or even Australia, there's going to be a lot more people who will be buying your games. So if there's some games that you're not playing anymore and you want to part with, it's a little bit easier. In New Zealand, it's a bit tough. Though I do find, just as an aside, be very careful when you sell a game, because there are a few times I've found over the years that I've sold a game and thought, oh, why did I sell that about 5 years later? Thought that was actually pretty good. So you really got to be careful that you're never going to play a game again before you sell it, I find. And here's a look at the new terrain that comes in the Board 1 set up on the tiles from Board 1. And doesn't it look fantastic? Now we've got a brand new squad. This is exciting. Squad 1. I don't know how many expansions they're going to bring out for these, but this is the first batch. And this has got a new squad, 6 new legends. We've got Caustic, Crypto, Mirage, Octane, Revenant, and Watson. Here they are on the back. 6 new characters. Now, it's not just 6 new miniatures. No, you've got 6 new miniatures and the extra miniatures for the special abilities they have, and all the cards and everything that go with them. They're fate cards, special ability cards, things like that. So there's quite a lot when you add new characters to this game. And this is one of the great things about this game, if you look back on my previous review, is the real distinctiveness of the different characters. And also, if you hang to the end of this video, I'm going to show you my painted ones from the core set, because I already painted them all up. So let's have a look at this one. Once again, I've got a little packing guide there that just shows you where everything goes. We've got some extra counters for these characters. Here's our little reference cards for each one. This is a really nice touch because, of course, you just grab one of those and you can see which components each character needs and any special rules that they entail. Very nice. And check this out. This is nice. Look at that. A whole lot of stuff in here. This is very cool. We've got our extra cards. So here are our different characters. This is Crypto. Again, great art. That is Watson. This one is Revenant. Looks like a Revenant too. This is Octane, Mirage, and finally Caustic, I presume has something to do with acid. Lots of extra cards there as well. Great artwork. And of course, I'm sure I mentioned this during the review, really nice graphic design on the backs of these cards, lovely typography, everything is clearly laid out, very modern looking, some lovely design work. There's some extra little cards here called Shadow, must be for someone's special ability. And then we've got the characters and special ability miniatures themselves. So let's check these out. Okay, first we have Revenant. He looks like a bit of a Terminator type character. He is a skirmisher, a lethal assassin, and his playstyle involves using obstacles to his advantage and debilitating his prey by depriving them of their abilities. He has this, which is a Death Totem miniature. Using his Death Totem, he can turn legends into shadows, which allows them to negate the damage they take from enemy attacks. He's a machine, so he can reset himself in order to regain some of his effects. He's also got a Silence Device miniature, which is this spectacular looking thing. And he's the one who uses those shadow cards and some silence markers. So that sounds very interesting. Next up, we've got Watson. She is a controller, so an engineer type legend, specialising in high voltage contraptions. Her electric fence is certain to make the enemy think twice before they dare cross it. So that's made up of a few of these little posts. So presumably she can set that up on the board and make a fence. Shooting through the fence provides Watson with an advantage and has an additional negative impact on her enemies. Once she deploys her pylon, it heals nearby legends and neutralises ordnance. So the pylon is this. Love these little clear elements. Painting these was quite tricky in the core set when they had these two things. You have to sometimes remove these bits. Sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. So be careful when you're painting. Make sure you don't get any paint on these elements. This is Caustic, and as you can see, he's letting fly with a whole smoky bit of caustic, horrible smoke or something. That was well described, wasn't it? Great looking miniature, very, very nice. He is a controller as well. He's a master poisoner, characterised by an increased resilience against damage. He makes use of traps and special grenades to create hazard zones that either force the enemy to scatter or directly damage their hit points. He's got a Nox gas grenade miniature, which is this, in a lovely acidic yellow. And he's also got Nox gas trap miniatures, 3 of these little things, little traps. So he covers the battleground with gas to shield his squad against enemy fire. Next up is Octane. Very high energy miniature there. These miniatures are great, aren't they? Lots of energy in that one. Love that running stance, very nice. He is a real speed demon. Well, there you go, that's perfect. He uses stims to fuel his stunts at the risk of, don't take drugs, kids, of setting his hit points to a dangerously low level. Yeah, that can happen. Octane is capable of traversing great distances in a single round. He's got a launch pad miniature, this thing here. Always a hard target. He never stays in one place. Has the ability to heal his wounds once he's off the enemy radar. Octane. Drug-taking speed demon. There you go. And he's a skirmisher. Okay, Crypto is recon. And he's far more static pose there. And his playstyle makes use of the surveillance drone. There it is, tiny little flying drone thing, which allows him to actively support his squad. Crypto focuses on increasing shot precision and predicting enemy movement. His ultimate ability sees his drone move to the offensive, damaging enemies and easily destroying electric objects. Next we've got Mirage, who's a support unit. Classic firing pose there. As Master of the Bluff, he sets up holograms to confuse his opponents and force them to waste their resources. His decoys also allow him to shield his squad mates from enemy fire and better spot his next target. And we've got 3 decoy miniatures, which are really nice. Look at that. Very cool, especially like this one where he's sort of casually leaning up against a post like Deadpool. There you go, that's when he's sort of waving. Come on, shoot me, I don't care. Go ahead, that's fine. So that sounds very cool. There's a lot of interesting abilities, as you can see. They're not all about firepower and everything. There's a lot of decoying and helping your synergies with the other squad mates, helping your squad mates, which makes the game really interesting. Love it. Very cool. So there you go. I'm really looking forward to playing with these different characters. Brings a lot of personality to the game, and this is one of the real features of the game, I think. Now, that's not all for the characters, because we have an extra one with its own box. So just to add one more thing to your shelf, it's the Loba expansion. Time to break some hearts. The Loba expansion introduces a new legend, Loba Andrade, the translocating thief, along with her cards, tokens, black market miniature, card holder diorama and storage tray. Now I'll get onto these card holder dioramas a bit later because I've got those as well. Also included is a new Nessie special feature with a dedicated Nessie miniature and a selection of highly detailed plastic components used to replace their cardboard equivalents from the core box. Ooh. Here's Loba, here's her card. She is able to scoop up high-class loot right from under the noses of her opponents or even directly from their backpacks. The only legend who can switch items with others at a distance. Uses her wealth of equipment to support and protect her squad. She's got a special screen like that. There's a little bit of rule stuff here. So we've got the cards here for Loba. There she is. And Nessie. Now, no doubt if you play the computer game, these characters are instantly recognisable to you. They don't mean anything to me, but don't know what they do. I don't know what Nessie does. Love Struck. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Plush. It's obviously a plushy creature or something. I don't know. Kids today. And there is the Nessie miniature. Yeah, weird. I don't know what to say about that. There it is. These are our extra miniatures for the core set. So these are lovely heat shields. Look at that. Wah, wah. That's really nice. And these are the control points that you use in that board one expansion. So you'll never need to use that cardboard again. The only thing they didn't send me are the little plastic miniatures for the supply bins, which I was really hoping to get. So mustn't be greedy. Got lots of good stuff here, but replacing the cardboard miniatures with plastic ones is really nice in games like this because the cardboard ones just take up a little bit more space and each space on the board. Now, these are these card holder things, and I've got one for each of all the other characters as well. They're little storage containers with lids, and they're little dioramas like this. And this is where you can put not only your miniatures and the extra miniatures that go with each character, but also your cards when you're playing the game. So here's Loba. There you go. This is the aforementioned black market miniature. So, of course, when you're playing the game, you can put this on here, and it fits really nicely. And it's quite a spectacular thing to have in front of you to store your characters and their bits and bobs. And, of course, when you get the cards, as you're playing the game, you can plonk your cards in here, like so. Yeah, it's crazy overkill. I know, it's not absolutely necessary, but especially when you've got multiple characters, it's really nice to have the cards sitting up on a little sheet like this. It's not an essential gameplay element by any means, but it's an extra bonus. And of course, you can, pop this back on here, and when all this is painted, if you want to go to the trouble of painting these dioramas, I mean, it'll look spectacular to have them lined up in front of you as you're playing the game, and you can store them like that. Pop into there. So that's Loba. And then talking about those dioramas, here they are. So these are for the other 12 characters. They've all got a custom diorama. So, wow. If you're really into your Apex Legends, and they're all different. They've all got different little diorama bases, like so. It's crazy. It's extravagant. It's over the top. But, this is a very visual, thematic game. So, there you go. All different styles. So I think I'll set some of these up and let's see what 4 of them are like in a row. Well, there you go. Very impressive indeed. These are the first 6 characters from the core set with their dioramas. Now, I've painted the miniatures, but as you can see, I haven't got around to painting the dioramas yet, of course, because I've just unboxed them for you. But you can store these in front of you, so have a little place to put the miniature, and of course put their special ability tokens and bits and bobs. These were pretty easy to paint up. They didn't take me too much time. In the background, of course, you've got the two ability cards, your tactical ability and ultimate ability, so you can see those very easily all the time. Look at this guy. Yeah, they're pretty impressive, aren't they? I mean, I wasn't sold on these at first. I thought they were a bit unnecessary and extraneous, but actually, now that I see them all set up, I think it really actually will add quite a bit of thematic fun to playing the game, and a nice place to store these bits before they go onto the board. And also it's good to see those tactical cards set up like that. There's a card holder on either side of the board, so you can turn it around the other way if you want to. Let me show you these a little bit closer. As you can see, the miniatures paint up nicely. This is Wraith. There's not, unbelievable amounts of detail. If you go into the faces and everything, it gets a little bit rubbery. But, as I said, and I often say, these aren't Games Workshop quality figures. These are gaming pieces, and they're still quite detailed, as you can see. Something like this robot guy is quite tricky to paint because there's a lot of detail there which you really just want to sort of dry brush or highlight a little bit. But he came out nicely. And this is Bangalore. And finally, one of my favourites, Gibraltar. Look at that. Now, as I said, I removed those clear pieces before painting the miniatures. And of course, I've sleeved the cards as well, because I always find sleeving my cards makes them easier to shuffle and use. So there you have it, the dioramas. And of course, there's another 7 for the other characters as well. Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Apex Legends, the board game extras. I'm glad actually I got all this in a separate batch, because if I'd unboxed all this with the core game, we would have been here forever. You can see there's a lot to add to this game. And as I said in my review, it's a very cool game. And I think when it comes to tactical skirmish games, is right up there. I've been playing a bit of Kill Team recently, and I just find it so heavy with the special abilities. It does bog down a little bit. It can be good, but it can bog down. This one I find very fast, tactical, interesting with the different characters. It's an absolute beauty. Go download my rules and reference for Apex Legends, the board game, at my website at orderofgamers.com. You can also find it on my fantastic rules app, Tabletop Codex. Just search on the Apple and Google stores to find that, or go to tabletopcodex.com. I will see you next time. Good gaming, and bye for now.